everybody. Welcome back to Best Life and Beyond. We didn't have an intro for this episode. We just started talking. It's a chat episode. And we realized that afterwards we had set everything up. We started talking and we got so into it that we just kept going. So this is the intro. It's Katie and I talking a lot about Disneyland and what's going on over there, the good, the bad. We're talking about some other stuff too, not just Disney. It's one of those videos. So hope you enjoy it. Here it is.
What are the things that people that watch our channel, what are they most talking about right now? Now, I have to tell you, so you probably don't watch my Instagram, do you? Do you watch my Instagram story?
I don't necessarily watch stories.
Okay, so that would be mine included, as I suspected. Anyway, so I often, to give you a little context, some would say complain about the parks, the status of Disneyland, what it's like now post 2020. I often talk about like how displeased I am, and I'm displeased from a place of someone who loves that park so much. Like I care about it to an unhealthy level, some would even say.
Well, it's also because the frequency to which you've been there, you would notice
the little things,
changes and pattern changes. More than someone who would just go there once a year, twice a year.
Which honestly would be kind of nice to be, a little bit like, I would say ignorance is bliss, but I don't want to say that you're ignorant. I'm just saying that you wouldn't notice those little things as a tourist.
Correct. Just like at Harbor Galley where they sell the chocolate chip cookies, I always notice when like the little statues are gone, like we call him Ezekiel. I think that's his name, the little fisherman that statue that's right there. It's gone right now, probably for repainting or something, and hopefully it's that. I noticed those things where I don't think, and even Katie was like, "What?" I remember not Ezekiel, but the bird over there
the bird, the snack in place bird or whatever it is.
Where he says feeling peckish, and he's a bird that's right there.
He's still gone.
He's still gone.
Dang.
And that was I first brought that one up, and Katie was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." We looked back, and there he was.
So there's a little like context though of like where we're coming from. We're kind of looking at like, just these little things. Now again, part of it is because of us as the consumers. That's how I feel. Part of it is now at a point where I get messages, I hear things. We talk to people in the park who have come, and they're like, what has happened to this place? Like, what is this? Like yesterday or a couple days ago, I went on a rant about Tomorrowland. Not a rant, but like...
But that's exactly the point that you were trying to make was because of the frequency of knowing all the little details, and when one thing's out of place, you're like, hey, there's something out of place.
Yeah.
When that adds up to being multiple things, that's when it starts to translate to the average guest who hasn't been there that long, who can't pinpoint what it is, but they're like, something's off.
Right.
And we go, we can tell you what that is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. It's a laundry list, but I think that's
the point.
They do get it. People who, but they just don't know what it is.
So that was a big topic of discussion that a lot of people wanted to discuss, of like, what's the status of Disneyland? Do you think that, the powers that be, DeMauro, Iger, all of them, do you think they're going to like listen to the consumers, and do you think they're going to fix it? Like we just want to talk about the status of Disneyland. So, I
mean, I don't...
Like my rotting Tomorrowland thing. Like, dude, have you gone into... What is Tomorrowland? What is Tomorrowland?
It just should
sorry I shook the camera. But what is Tomorrowland? What is it? Really? Like you walk in, you're seeing Star Tours. You're going like, okay, cool. So Star Wars, there's a whole land dedicated to being in Star Wars. So then you walk in and you have like, the Buzz Lightyear thing, which that's cool. But you have the, what are they called? Astro Orbiters. And, that's cool too, I guess. But like, what is Tomorrowland? You have Launch Bay being a fourth used, maybe a fourth, maybe half.
It doesn't even, I want to say deserve, but the name Tomorrowland doesn't apply at all.
No.
Because nothing there
is futuristic.
Right. Star Wars is in its own kind of universe in and of itself. It doesn't, you know what I mean? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, like you can't pinpoint what that is. So, and then Buzz Lightyear that's Toy Story.
Yeah.
So that's not future. That's just like
Imagination, I guess.
I think it was present time when it came out, right?
Yeah, and then you have like the Starcade. Like, how do people look at that though and go?
It should just be called Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Because it's your fault. No.
Yeah. No, it is though, for real.
But the thing is, I don't know that they think that stuff matters. I guess
I wonder if
that's
we're all
my
just so
standpoint
used
of
to it. Like, what if we're all just so used to how bad it is? Like, I kind of think like we love. I could probably say most of the people on our channel in our little Best Life community. I feel like a lot of us really love Disneyland so much, and we all have a lot of nostalgia and love for the park. But I feel like, are we just kind of like okay with like how bad Tomorrowland is, and like we just kind of ignore it because we're stoked to be there? Like, I wonder, because even myself, I've like looked up at like the Starcade, and I'm like, if I was coming here for the first time and I saw that, I'd be like, where's the Starcade? What is that? And then I'd go, oh, I'm eating over at, Pizza Planet or whatever, and I look over, I'm like, looks like there's like a theater or something over there. Oh wait, it's nothing. It's abandoned.
Right,
okay.
What is that?
Like, I'd be like, ooh, what's that big old launch bay building? That's so cool. It says launch bay on it, I think. I don't even remember if it still says that. But anyway, you look at that and you go, oh, cool, want to go. Oh, wait, you got to be either a Visa member or a DVC member, which we don't have a lot of DVC in Disneyland anyway.
Do you remember, because I know
do you remember
your generation, prior to that whole, when they redid Tomorrowland and change, threw the weird steampunk thing on it and changed the color to like all those weird dark colors.
The French fry rocks were born.
That era was way like, I don't know, that was weird. That wasn't the Tomorrowland that I knew. I knew the original one, and it was, it was like a toy. I saw footage of it the other day, and I say that like a toy because there was aerial footage that was shooting from like the hub, and you could see where the People Mover was coming out, and then the rockets were in the back spinning, and you could tell that, the People Mover came from where that was. Anyways, it just looked like a toy. Like if you would have had like an amusement park toy, it looked like that. Everything's moving and spinning, and it was just like, I don't even know. I remember thinking as a kid, like, God, I wonder what they built first, because how does that go over that but under that, and then this is over? And anyways, the rocket rods would still be, to me, kind of futuristic.
Yeah, they would be.
Weird car that is on a track.
Beep, 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 beep.
Right, that's going around a futuristic city, up on elevated highways and things. That's kind of futuristic, right?
Yeah,
but
there's so much that's, but I don't know.
And then Autopia, it's just cars.
I guess we both were kind of thinking, though, what if, so really, D23 is a big deal. Like, if they don't really say something this time, man, I don't know, because what's in the pipeline for the next 4 to 5 years at Disney?
Like,
nothing.
Do you even want to go to D23?
Honestly, no. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm going to tell you, and not that I'm like some Disney hater. Listen, I'll be at Disneyland tomorrow. Like,
well, here's my thing is, the last time we had gone, I'd never waited for a panel. I don't think I'd been. Actually, it was the first time I'd gone.
Oh, so that wasn't the last time. That was the time before.
Okay, so yeah, I'm getting it mixed up.
Maybe
I've been
even
twice.
Before. Yeah,
a couple times. I don't know. I've been 2 or 3 times. Anyways, I think it was the first time we waited for a panel in that dungeon down there. For a while, and it wasn't that bad.
It was the first and only time, because after that you're like, I'm not doing this anymore.
It wasn't that bad, because I was kind of like, well, if this is what you got to do, and everybody was into it.
That was the year that they announced a lot at Walt Disney World. Correct. And we hadn't been to Walt Disney World yet, so we were kind of like stoked, but like really we were kind of like,
are we getting anything?
Yeah,
like,
we got a few things. I think we got the announcement possibly of Magic Happens at that point. Maybe, I can't remember.
Everybody, here's the thing is, because I hadn't been, right? Everybody was coming to me going like, oh, dude, I think I got overhyped, because I was like, you guys like blew this up so much, and I'm like,
well, the last time we got like, dude, okay, think about it. One of the parks panel I went to, we got to see Fantasmic for the first Fantasmic 2.0.
That was your incentive. So
we got
a lot of those, they'll give an incentive.
We got a pin, from around the, like one of the parks around the world.
It should have been an indicator, you guys, when they didn't really, what did they do for us?
They gave us a $10
coupon.
I think for Target, a gift card maybe. I think it was Chapek year, so maybe that was the indicator too. However, that being said, the following year, was a stinker, or the pandemic or something, and then this last time they did it, that might have been the worst of the
And we didn't
D23.
go.
But we did a reaction, and I think we were really at that point, if I'm being honest, we were really trying to just be positive about it. And I feel like we really tried to
Yeah, we did. That's
we
true.
really tried to be very optimistic about it. And we were excited about some stuff. And especially at that point, we had been to Walt Disney World. So we
had a
looked
reference
at it.
at least at that
Yeah,
point.
we had a little bit more of a reference. But now, I think after just the past couple of years we've had at the parks and seeing how much value they're really taking away. I mean, like, even those Disney After Dark events, like, did you know, like, most of them don't even offer fireworks, like special fireworks? So basically those events, they are a chance. I would say it's a good chance, because a couple of people were asking, are they worth it? Are you guys going to go? Definitely, I don't foresee us going again. Like,
for us, it's totally not worth it. But
yeah, but that's also because we're annual pass holders who are there 2 or 3 times a week. You know, would you... For us, it's just not worth it. I'm glad we tried.
The value is subjective.
Yep. Based on your wants and
we
needs.
wouldn't know unless we went, and we've had fun at a few of them. It's just that overall, for us, like she said, the value is just not there.
No, not for us. I mean, and I do feel bad though for the average guest though, not getting, like, again, for Star Wars night. They're not even offering those awesome Star Wars fireworks.
And
those were one of the things to me that
the projections
were
on the castle. Do you remember when the X-wings were coming in, and it was just like it's one of the better fireworks shows.
That's not even part of it. I think maybe Pride Night might have the fireworks.
You know what they're going to do is they're going to do it for May the 4th or something, or for us. What is it? Star Wars.
Season of the 4th.
Force. Maybe they'll do it for that.
No, I don't think so. Maybe. Oh no, maybe it is. Maybe you're right.
Maybe they'll do it for that, or they'll do it for just May the 4th. I don't know.
Who knows? But the point is, though,
there's still if you're, I say for people like who maybe are here on vacation at the time, if you happen to know that far in advance that you bought the tickets for it, that's really cool to go to.
And I think if you really are into photos, like if that's really like making memories in a photographic way is big to you, I think that would be really worth it. I don't remember if it's Princess Night or Sweethearts Night. They have that little, dancing ball scene back there. That was kind of cool. That was kind of unique and cute.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on what you're into and if that's something that, you're looking forward to. It's kind of like when we go to Vegas, people, it's kind of like the staying on property.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing that people were asking a lot about is like, hey, what are some like good places to stay at around Disneyland? And we actually haven't really stayed ever, I think, anywhere in those surrounding areas.
We've been to a bunch of them because a lot of friends have stayed at a lot of those places.
I think when Adam was staying and we went,
yeah, he did a bunch of them. Charlie stayed at a bunch of them.
We did a lot of pool time there.
Now, you got to understand too, though, that was during the weird time, so it's really hard to judge.
Shutdown.
It's really hard to judge things based off that.
That's true. But yeah, I think the one I hear the most good about is Candy Cane Inn.
Yeah, and Candy Cane Inn, if you look at the map on Google, Candy Cane Inn is actually within the block that Disneyland. Yeah, it's like if you look at like on Catella and Harbor, it's tucked in much like that 7-Eleven is as well. I think right on the
Oh wow.
Right, so if you look at the block there, it's interesting.
I guess that's something I think a lot of people are curious about is like, especially now, the prices are so high for staying on property, and especially with the Magic Morning minutes that you get that aren't even
minutes.
Well, it's minutes. It's 30 minutes.
I know. And if you're not there
an hour before
on the ball before that, like you're going to miss every minute that you miss of that is very crucial.
So is it worth it though to stay on property? And I would say, because I'm not a big fan of the safety of the Anaheim area in general, unless you're in your resort and whatnot. And again, my value is very different too, so everybody's is subjective. I think it's kind of worth it for that reason. I think that staying on property is a little bit more secure. But that's also, it's about location too. So the other part of it, it's kind of like when we go to Vegas. We will pay a little bit more to stay on the Strip, and we want to stay on the Strip. Like, we want to stay in that area. One of the places we love to stay at is Park MGM.
Yeah.
It's kind of our jam. We like that it's smoke-free. It's relatively quiet. It's a good location.
There's so many places to stay in Vegas, and we've done a bunch of other hotels, and like including like Fountain Blue, which we just did, right? And but there's something weird. Like, it was that same trip that we did Fountain Blue, and then we ended up back at Park.
Yeah, and you kind of were like, oh, I love it.
Right. I was like, oh, okay, now we're home.
Yeah.
And so, and it's for us, it's a familiarity a little bit, I guess.
But I think, though, with Fountain Blue, what will change for me is if that area around it gets developed a little bit more.
Oh, it totally will.
I think that's going to be a little bit of a game changer, and that might be my favorite place for on that area.
On the north side.
But also, I like the Wynn. So I feel like between the Wynn and the Fountain Blue,
yeah, once they connect, when they connect all of that, like it used to be,
game changer.
Because that's like the big gap is where the Frontier used to be.
I think the other thing is the pool wasn't open at Fountain Blue when we went.
Right.
That, I think, is a little bit of a difference, too.
And, yeah, and we had such a... it opened in the wintertime.
Because, man, that bed was comfortable. I loved...
It was great. I think you're right about the area, because I think part of what we like about Park is the accessibility to, like, New York, and the Strip, and the monorail.
And I like Italy. But the food at Fountain Blue was underrated good, in my opinion.
The food court thing was really good.
The options.
But like you're saying, so I feel so much more free at Park because of the fact that when you walk down and you go through the casino and then you end up at Italy, it's atrium, so it's natural light, and then the Strip is right there, and it's like, as opposed to being most casinos, they don't, like, the doors are kind of not really
you have to go kind of far to get
featured.
out.
Yeah, they don't really want you to find the way out,
Yeah.
But that, I don't know, there's something about that where it's like, oh yeah, it's so nice, and it just feels a little more human than, I don't feel like I'm in some Las Vegas hotel. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Means,
I think, and then a lot of people always ask us, like, what are your favorite, like, food places to eat at? And I feel like we would both agree on the same thing. Like, what's your favorite place to eat at in Vegas? 1, 2, 3. Golden Steer.
Yeah.
100%. Another one was, what's your favorite place to eat at in Malibu? And we'll say there's going to be 2 levels, okay? There's going to be our quick service place. Quick services, even though there's a few. But, like, what's your favorite, like, dining establishment in general in Malibu?
Well, it's changed over the years.
Okay, that's true.
I mean, even since I was a kid.
I think we're going to think the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, Nobu.
Nobu.
Yeah. Okay, quick service, though, it's a new one, too.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Howdy's.
Howdy's is great.
Howdy's is good. Diamore's Pizza.
Diamore's Pizza, oh, man.
Way better than Prince Street. No diss to Prince Street.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you're looking for, like,
good
a good pie, and you're I don't know, man, Diamore's
is so good.
Now, it's not, in that strip mall of over there by, Howdy's or anything, but it's so
Cross
worth it.
Creek, I think it is.
So worth it, and they have the patio where you can eat up top and all that stuff.
Yeah, I love Diamore's. But anyway, sorry, I got a little sidetracked on food.
No, that's fine. You're making me hungry now.
Although there is another thing about food I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people were asking, actually a few people, they were asking about the cookies at Harbor Galley, if they are worth it.
Oh, if they're worth it.
I would say...
Okay, this is the thumbnail with the box of cookies.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Okay, now, let's just say, though, comparing taste.
Okay.
Costco versus those cookies. Just taste. And texture. That's fine, too.
Well, I'll probably say Costco.
Costco. Because Costco's like, and I don't know if those are, but Costco's are that all butter cookie with like the semi-sweet morsel. I mean...
It's a little gooier.
It's a little gooier.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Also, it's happened a few times where Harbor Galley overcooked them.
Yeah,
or wherever they cook. I don't think they cook them there. They cook them somewhere else.
They're baked.
They're
cookies. They're not
baked, cooked, whatever, fried.
Listen to him. Let's cancel you. You're done. We don't like you anymore.
But they're really good though. I think it's.
They are good. I would say if the line is like kind of like if it's not super long, I think they're worth it. Again, here's another good thing to note. Let's just say you're going to.
Those?
Nope. Let's just say you're going to Disneyland, though, and you're going, I want an exclusive to Disneyland thing that I can't get anywhere else. Do not waste your time on those cookies, because
I see what
they
you
are
mean.
delicious. They're a nice, gooey, warm, chocolatey treat.
Yes.
Heck yeah, who doesn't want that? But let's just say
don't go out of your way in a sense of
if you're looking for an exclusively to Disneyland treat, like a good example, the raspberry macaron.
Sure.
That's something you really can't get anywhere else. It's Mickey shaped. It's got its
maybe one of those fancy Dole Whips.
Yeah, like those are things that are
a special
kind of
churro.
exclusive to Disneyland.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would say if that is your parameter, then I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah, no, it makes sense.
If that's your jam,
yeah, I think.
I'm trying to be so gentle so we don't shake the
I think
camera.
the cookies serve a good purpose in that, like you said.
Yeah, they're a nice
most
warm,
people come to that park and they want
a treat.
Yeah, and they want something like extravagant and they want something that they can't get anywhere else because it's like, hey, I'm at Disneyland.
And people know calories don't count at
I can cheat today, right? And they go, what's like the most gnarly thing I can get? And they have some gnarly stuff like the funnel cakes or, the like sundaes.
Over the top.
Things like that. Because I used to think like that too. I'm like, oh man, like what's something like, they got the best stuff there. And people ask us all the time in the park, they'll be like, all right, we're looking for something sweet right now. What do you think?
I need something like really good. And I always feel bad because like if Darth by Chocolate isn't there, I'm always like, oh, I wish I could give you one of those
stuff
right now.
Seasonal stuff's always good.
For the most part. I think in the fall, the seasonal stuff is not like my favorite because they do a lot of spicy stuff in the fall. It is time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to our besties, our Patreons. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Best Life and Beyond. Bye-bye, everybody.